Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. As you're aware, if you've been following my channel, I've been covering the Caleb Harris case out of Corpus Christi, Texas. He is a student there and is 21 years old. According to his father, Randy Harris, he is a junior in college, environmental sciences, loves fishing and hunting, loves all clothing, wants to be sponsored. He wants to be a kayak guide, wants to get a license for that. He's going to be working in Colorado this summer, and he likes to fish, and he was actually ready to go fishing on the very day he went missing on March 4th. And the roommates apparently are heartbroken as well that he has disappeared. But it also appears that he was using Reddit, if true. I can't verify that it's his account. There is an account that's using Reddit it's a 21-year-old male that lives right in the area, and other people have designated it his account on Reddit. I don't have a way to verify it, so take this information with a grain of salt, but if it's true, it is absolutely interesting. And it's very possible that it isn't true, but it seems like it is to me. So it is possible that it's not true. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So as you remember, on the 3rd of March at 11:53 p.m., Caleb took pictures of a dog that was a new puppy that one of his roommate's girlfriends got. And then at 1 a.m., Harris is seen on a Ring doorbell camera. There's actually video footage of him. Here he is walking. This is at 1 a.m. on the 4th. That's him in the white hat there, walking around, and that is the puppy. And this is at 1 a.m., approximately 1 a.m. So that's him right there, okay? So we see that's at 1 a.m., and then at 2:20 a.m., his roommate goes to sleep on a couch. Caleb is awake, preparing for his fishing trip, and he also tells the roommate he is going to order Uber Eats and stay up and order Uber Eats for his lunch and food the following day. He wasn't going to eat it that night. Then at 2:44, Caleb Harris takes his dog for a walk in the complex. So here is his apartment complex, and he takes that dog. It's not his dog, it's the puppy that one of his roommate's girlfriend just got. All right, then that's at 2:44. He takes a Snapchat video of him walking the dog. Then at 2:45 a.m., he orders Uber Eats, and he ordered the 2 Lunchables, a Red Bull, and an apple pie, and apparently that was very typical of what he would order according to Randy Harris's father. So the Uber Eats is something that he wasn't going to eat that night. Then at 2:58 a.m., apparently his phone quits contacting a tower, and that makes it seem like it's turned off or dies. Then at 3:03 a.m., he sends a Snapchat to a friend, and it shows this image right here, which is a bridge. There's a drainage ditch there and a road. Now I'll show you exactly where that is. That's right here, exactly in this position. He's standing on this sidewalk. Here's the picture again. There's the sidewalk. There's that little grassy area. There's the bridge and the wall on the other side. See, it's kind of about like that. So that's where he's standing at 3:03. Then apparently his phone is still on at 3:12, and it pings on Williams Drive, but law enforcement said that they're not confident on the location of that ping at all. But it does show that his phone is still pinging at 3:12. And then he just sort of disappeared off the face of the earth, and there's no information that would allow us to even speculate on where he is. However, there is a Reddit account that's right here. Now let me show you this. Outside Physics 1635. Now people are claiming that it is his Reddit account. And on here it looks as if this person is using it. It's obviously a sexual site The NSFW means, not for work. You don't show it at work, so it's something you can't show at work. And then the M4A, which is right here, it's pretty small, hard to see. It means male looking for anybody. So it could be a female or a male. And it says Oso Bay Hiking Trail. It's a post on Reddit. And look at the date on this thing. March 4th, 2024 at 12:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But, you have to add the 2 hours because it's Central Time, and that would make it 2:15 and 30 seconds a.m. So that means at 2:15 a.m., the same night that he's walking the dog around, ordering Uber Eats, etc., he puts a post here and says Oso Bay Hiking Trail as a possible meeting location. And then if you go up in the air, look where that is. It's just right here. It's only 1.7 miles away to get to this parking area. And Oso Bay Wetland Preserve is right here, and there's hiking trails in here. So I believe that is exactly where he's referring to, if that is Caleb. And so you look at it like he exits here, he walks this way. So did somebody agree to meet him there and pick him up? And see, this is where the story starts making sense, where it doesn't make sense otherwise. He just disappears. But now you might think that somebody that he contacted on Reddit was there to pick him up and then drove him. So the person would actually be coming in like this, and he would have walked across the street. So right over here, let's say he's standing here, and maybe he was going to meet them at the bridge here, and then they drive across, and he runs across, gets in their car, and they head that direction. Okay, then they drive down like this, take a left on Holly Road, and then take a right on North Oso Parkway, and then you just drive right down here and then enter into the park. Now, was it something where they were just going to drive to the parking lot here and have a sexual encounter of some sort? That's possible. But maybe they didn't even go to this park after he was picked up. I mean, this is all speculation, but it seems that this is finally a thread of relevance in this case. I think it's very possible. So now let's go back to the timeline here and put that into it. So that means at 1 a.m., Harris is on the Ring doorbell camera playing with the dog that his roommate's girlfriend just got. Then just before his roommate goes to sleep, and just before Caleb, he was still awake, preparing to go fishing, and he orders Uber Eats. He says he's going to order Uber Eats. Just before that, at 2:15, he puts that post on Reddit. And then at 2:44 a.m., Harris takes a dog for a walk in the complex, and then he Snapchats his sister, so maybe he's really awake because he's waiting to get a response to hook up with somebody. And then at 2:45 a.m., he orders the Uber Eats finally. 2 Lunchables, a Red Bull and the apple pie. Then at 2:58, does this have something to do with Reddit? This 2:58 time frame where his phone, it seems like it's turned off or dies? I don't know. But 3:03 is interesting, isn't it? Why did he go back outside again after bringing his dog in? Why wouldn't he just continue the walk? It's 2:45. He orders his Uber Eats. And why not just continue with the dog and bring him over near the bridge, etc., and then go back in? Instead, he takes the time to bring the dog back up into the apartment. And then at 3:03 a.m., he is using Snapchat at that bridge, and we see that image. But why did he go back out there? Was he going back out there to meet up with somebody? He knows all of his roommates are asleep. Was he going back out there to meet up with somebody? We know, like in the Stephen Stearns case, that Reddit and Telegram are these up-and-coming sort of sites that, online, there's sex addicts, there's all kinds of different people on there. It's used with pedophiles, etc. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that he used it like it was one of those sites like Tinder. That's what it seems like, that Reddit can be like that. So you post, and then maybe you can hook up with somebody. A lot of the posts in there are for video, like you might share a video with somebody and have some sexual encounters on the video or chat, etc. And that's what it seems like. So I think this is finally something, if true, that makes this case seem like there's a direction to go in. And I did see a post in one of the groups saying, hey, you guys shouldn't be talking about this. It's not related, or whatever. I think, man, if it's not related, wow. Again, just like in the Delphi case. Keegan Klein's communicating with the two girls. He's a catfishing account. Abby and Libby, he's communicating with them. Then later in the day, a killer runs into them and kills them. And apparently the catfishing account is unrelated. That's how crazy coincidental this would have to be. You're talking about 48 minutes prior to him going missing. He's putting a post on Reddit to meet up for sexual activity. And he wants to meet up, and it's going to be 1.7 miles away. And then again, like I said, he makes the post at around 2:15 a.m. And then 48 minutes later, he's outside by this bridge here. And I think that's likely when somebody picked him up. Now, if you look at this road here, there's very few cameras. There's a few that possibly could be in this area. But then most of this area has fenced-in housing. And I don't know what it looks like right here. Let's take a look. Yeah, so you turn here, and a lot of these cameras aren't facing out here because it's not relevant to them. They're not filming the road. You see, they're going to film over here, etc. But if there's any cameras pointing out here, I think law enforcement, obviously, they've been canvassing all the cameras, and maybe they picked something up. But I think it's looking like it's very likely. I mean, if this is true, it's very likely that that Reddit post is connected to where he went. I mean, it could be all kinds of different things. Did somebody find out his real name and blackmail him like we heard they do on Telegram, where once they find out who you are, they threaten to out you, so you start doing extra things, and maybe that got to him? Or he actually posted to try to meet somebody to have a sexual encounter with, whatever they were going to be doing. And so you look at it, and it's 3:03 right here, and he just 48 minutes earlier made that post, and he wanted to meet somebody just 1.7 miles away from his house. So it seems likely the car came in like this, picked him up, and maybe drove over here. If I was law enforcement, I would canvass this entire park on foot, because that's where that post said he would be. Now, again, like I said, it's possible that that account isn't related, but man, it sure seems like it. You're looking at a male, 21 years old, right in that area, and, obviously there's probably other 21-year-olds that live there, but somebody else out there did some research and found out that that was his account. So if this is true, it's a very significant piece of information in this case, and is likely related to what happened to Caleb Harris. And if somebody did pick him up right there, he could be anywhere. They were supposed to go to this park. Oftentimes, the evildoers will take you to the place that you suggested. As a matter of fact, they might have said, wow, that's a great idea in their mind, and took them to this park. And they knew it was a great place to do something nefarious to somebody. But it's also possible that they were taken in a much different direction. So to find out the answers here, it might have been a direct message. A lot of the posts that Caleb is in, he mentions, hey, why don't you direct message me, direct message me, direct message me. So maybe he developed some friends in the area, and once he made that post, they merely just direct messaged him and said, yeah, I'll meet you there. And that's why he's outside. They even said, like, hey, I'll pick you up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So Caleb goes and walks out. He's waiting over by the bridge. He doesn't need to bring his, any of his wallet or anything like that. He doesn't even have to bring his shoes. It's warm outside. He's a college student. They don't even wear shoes a lot of times. I remember when I was in college, almost everybody would walk around barefoot. And, especially in the summer when it's warm. It's always warm here. So he gets into the car expecting to kind of just stay in the car, do the sexual activity at the park, and then just be dropped back off, and he'd walk right into his house. He probably had his keys with him, of course, and he had his phone. But it seems like after he was picked up at like 3:12, that is when his phone likely at that point turned off, because it seems like it last pinged at 3:12, and they mentioned that it pinged it pinged right over here on Williams Drive. That's what they said, but they thought it was an error. But it does mean that the phone is on at 3:12 and it's pinging. So was he just right here? I'm sure there's not like 14 cell towers in this area. I would imagine that a cell tower that would facilitate this apartment would likely facilitate this area right here, because it's only 1.7 miles apart. So I think this is really, if you want to use the word bombshell information, if true. Okay, so keep that in mind. But I have a feeling that it is, but it might not be. I don't want to keep saying that, but I just don't want you to think, okay, this is absolutely true, when I haven't been able to verify, because I don't know how to verify that that is his Reddit account. I don't have a way to do it. Somebody else was able to do it. There are people out there that have access to different websites that they can get that type of information, and I'm trying to work that angle, but haven't gotten any answers from any of the people that I know that can do that. All right? So that is it, everybody. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's absolutely incredible. All right? So I appreciate you guys watching, listening. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. But hit that like button for me for sure. All right. Thank you very much for watching. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.